Atoms. Atoms consider smallest representative sample an elements. Smallest representative sample an element. Periodic tables. Periodic tables, the arrangement of elements in two directions, in two direction or in two side or by two way, for that elements are arrangement into two direction, two direction or two side or two way. These directs or ways is called one groups. That means the elements in the periodic tables are classified in two sides, called first one called group, called groups. That mean groups mean arrangement of elements in columns. By this way, the elements in each group has have similar chemical and physical properties. Have similar chemical and physical properties, as well as each element in this group have the same numbers of electrons in the outer shell. In the groups, in the groups, in the groups, elements arranged in columns. Number one, the elements arranged in columns. Elements have the similar chemical and physical properties. Elements elements in the column have the physical and has the same similar in the physical, chemical and physical properties, and also have same number of electrons. Now, number one, elements arranged in column. Number two, this element is similar in chemical and physical properties. Number three, in this group, the elements have the same number of electrons in the outer shell. Same number, number of electrons in the outer shell. For that, take this n in the s, the n number of orbital, s the orbital, and n number of the shell, p is the shell. The first groups, the elements in this group arranged as in column, arranged in column. The second side, or the second way, is the periods. And the first way is groups. The two sides called periods, periods. That means the arrangement of columns in horizontal rows, horizontal rows. By this way, elements in each period have the same number of outer shell number, the same number of electrons in the outer shell. For that electron in N, each periods have the same number of the outer shell, the same number of the outer shell N, number of the outer shell N, and N for B and for S. In the periods table, that means arrangement of elements in horizontal row. By this way, the electrons in each period have the same number of the outer shells. The elements can be divided according to the elements can be divided the elements the elements are divided into three classes based on their physical and chemical according to their physical properties. According to the physical properties. The first one, elements has that that show elements that show metallic luster when polished are capable of being drawn out into wire, can be hammered into sheet, and are good conductor of the heat and electricity. Are classed as metals. That means the metals, metal, metal, or metals, elements that show metallic luster when polished, are capable to being drawn out into wire, can be hammered into sheet, and are good conductors of heat and electricity. Elements that do not have these properties, not has not do not have these properties are classed as non-metal. Non-metal. For that, non-metal is not show metallic luster when polished, are not capable being drawn out into wire, cannot be hammered into sheet, are not good conductor of the heat and electricity. A class between these two is called metalloids. Metalloids in metal, non-metal, and metalloids. Metalloids. A classification of parties or the parties of atoms. Atoms contain three parties of particulars. These particulars called electron, proton, neutron. Proton electron is minus one, minus one. Its sample electron negative charge, electron E with negative charge, small e with negative charge. Its mass AMU, the mass AMU 121,837. Proton plus 1 H, its charge positive, H positive, P positive or P. Neutron, its charge 0. It's now symbol N. Its symbol N. Atoms has a nucleus which contain atoms has a nucleus which contain protons and neutrons. Now nucleus contain protons, neutrons, as well as electron around out of nucleus in the shell. In the shell, in the nucleus, a nucleus, proton, neutrons. In the shell, out of nucleus, electrons is the electrons. Electrons is around out of the nucleus. Atoms is electrically neutral. Most atom is neutral. Therefore, the charge created by the proton in a nucleus must be balanced exactly by equal number of electrons outside of a nucleus. For that, atoms neutral. The charge created by a proton removed by the charge formed by electrons outside of the shell. Atomic numbers. Atomic number. The atomic number of an element is equal to the number of protons in its nucleus. Atomic numbers, number of protons in a nucleus of the atoms. Number of protons equal to the number of electrons in the outer shell. For that, number of electrons that be equal to the number of electron in the outer shell. Isotopes. Isotopes. You know that a nucleus contain proton, and protons and neutrons in the nucleus. Atoms. To see that atoms whose nuclei have the same number of protons but differ numbers of neutrons are called isotopes. Protons, atoms have the same number of protons but differ in the number of neutrons is called isotopes. For example, carbon atomic number 6. Atomic number 6. Number of proton 6. Number of proton also 6. But number of neutron 6. Number of neutron 7. For that, isotopes differ in the number of neutrons, but atomic number will be 6. Mass number also differ. For that, the number of neutron differ. Number of mass number will differ. See oxygen atoms, oxygen. 8 numbers of protons, 8. Number of neutrons, 8, 9, 10. Atomic number 8. This atomic number. But mass number 60, 16, 17, 18. Also sulfur, see that or the sulfur differ in the number of neutrons, differ in the mass number. Isotopes of an element is designated by the written rating. Specific isotopes of an element is designated by written the sample of element with atomic mass number replaced as superscript. Atomic number, atomic number as superscript, atomic number, mass number, mass number, mass number, superscript. And atomic number is also added as a superscript, subscript to the left, to the left. See, 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 mass number, superscript, the mass number, atomic number subscript to the left, to the left. You see, mass number equal number of protons and number of electrons, number of protons and number of neutrons in the nucleus. This sample, this is called atomic number. Atomic number equal to number of electrons and also number of neutrons.